Hey, it's the lunatic from the woods here, out here in the middle of the woods, having a good time. Nice humid day, lots of little buggies. So what I'm going to talk about is like reflections and premonitions. So with semen retention, another semen retention video. So reflections and premonitions, I mean, like once you're completely out of it, you're out of like the whole illusion and everything. I mean, women still look beautiful and everything, but you're not looking at body parts. So what you start to reflect on is you think about like, why was I so obsessed with that? You know, if you're obsessed with the butt or the boobs, like the butt, it's like, you know, what's inside it? It's a butt. Like, you shit out of it. It's filled with shit. You know, so it's like, you just start thinking, it doesn't really make any sense to you anymore. You're like, you know, you were giving yourself as a slave to like something that's just filled with shit. Or like the front part. Yeah, it's just filled with a bunch of blood and pus. You know. You know, so you're kind of, you start to look past that into like the actual soul of the person, and you just realize that it's just another being out there living just like you, and you don't want anything from that person. Maybe friendship, or maybe somebody just to talk to, but you're not, you know, you're not trying to get somebody, you're not working them for anything, you know. So some premonitions that you might start to have, well, I started to have anyway. When you're first out of it, like, it feels weird. Like, you're like, oh, well, you know, like, what if your mind starts to play tricks on you. Oh, well, this is like weird because it's not a societal norm. It's not by any means. You're going against the grain. You're against society if you're doing this. But it's better. It's healthier for you. It's not, what society is preaching is not healthier for you. I mean, you might start to think, you know, oh, well, like, I'm an outcast now because I'm not, you know, looking at dirty stuff on the internet, and I'm not releasing every day. So I'm going to get prostate cancer, and like, or it's not going to work, or I'm just not going to like women anymore. I'm not going to have any like interactions with them or anything, or, you know, I'm just going to be like this hermit, which, like, none of that is true. That's just your mind going. And your mind is saying these negative things because you have negative things to back it up. Society is saying negative things about it. So it's conditioning you to think negative things about it. So, I mean, if you're out of it, keep going. Because, I mean, you will have interactions with women, and they'll be better. Like, you'll have that better connection with them, and you're not going to be working them for sex. Like, you don't really care about that anymore. And women can't work you for that. And women, you know, they'll realize that. The ones that are anyway, they're not all going to be trying to work you, you know, to try to get over on you. But there are like Jezebels out there and everything. And you have to be very... You just have to be careful, and you'll be able to pick it up right away. And most of them will just move on. Well, they can't do anything, but there's a million guys that they can do something with. So they'll just move on and they'll work the next guy. You know, so you don't want that anyway. By any means, you know, you don't want to be handing over. You don't want to be caught in some illusion, some kind of fantasy, and just handing over all your hard-earned money and all your belongings and, you know, all your love and everything, and devotion and time, and, you know, just to somebody who's just working you. Just, you know, so obviously working on you, but you're like enticed in that whole thing. So, I mean, you're going against a societal norm. By no means. This practice is not a societal norm. You're actually like rebelling from society if you're doing this. You're just, you know, you're saying screw it, you know, which is cool. That's why I'm into it. I don't really go along with societal norms. Society is backwards, if you think, you know, if you want to know what I'm thinking about it. So, I mean, that's some of the thoughts, reflections, you know, you kind of reflect back, and it doesn't make any sense to you. You kind of laugh at it. You know, you're like, why was I so obsessed with that? Like, why was I so fixated on that? A lot of that is from society, like just over-sexualizing everything. You know, your mind, I don't really believe, is naturally supposed to be over-sexualized like that. It definitely comes from society. It definitely does. I mean, like, if you watch a movie, everything is just so over-sexualized. Everybody's excessively drinking. I mean, like, just excessively. Like, you know, I watch some shows and they're not really bad or anything, or, you know, and it's just outrageous, like, what they put in stuff. But all that stuff plays a toll on your subconscious. It really does. So yeah, stick with me. I don't even know. I mean, for those people that are interested in it, I think I'm on like day 7. I'm gonna say like 75. I have to count them. I do have it marked. So, I mean, I did a day 60. I'm going to do a day 90. So in about like 2 weeks, I'll make sure it's like the exact day. So, I mean, it's not really hard for me to do this because I'm already out of it, but I do have a wife that I do have sex with, and I'm going off of that. I'm not going off of anything else. That is the only time when I ever do that, if anyone. You know, I know there's a few people in the comments that just like kind of wanted to know. But that's really like the only time I ever do that. I mean, I've been kind of practicing this for, I don't know, probably about 10 years. Yeah, I would say like close to 10 years. So, I mean, like, I feel like I finally got to the point where I'm just kind of like, now I'm out of it. But I mean, when I do release with my wife, I could feel that energy loss. And when I do hold on to that energy, like, things do happen. They do. Like, things do start to change in your life. And that's kind of like some of the reflections and the premonitions that I start to have. So, I mean, that negative mindset will come in. I mean, it definitely will, because society is programming you otherwise. You know, they're telling you that you're not normal, that you're an outcast. You know, this is all this shit. It's making you guys weak, and it's making you guys slaves. So yeah, stick with me. I got a semen retention journal. I will post that up there. Check out my shop. I got some cool t-shirts and stuff. Take care, guys. Love you guys all.